those people. Okay, welcome to our finale class for our Hope After Cancer fundraiser. I'm Tracy Podolsky, and I am joined here with Leah Ricotta-Tai. And tonight, we are going to be going over simple DIY recipes for the mind, body, and soul. So just to start out, I wanted to just express my gratitude on all of the people who have donated to this worthy cause. We have raised $7,940 so far. That is so exciting. It's 75% towards our goal. We have 13 days left. Please share the link with anyone in your community. We would love to meet the goal of $10,600, which doTERRA is going to match that dollar per dollar. So we have 13 days left. We have all the gratitude in the world for the month of November. So any dollar amount we greatly appreciate. So to summarize, if this is the first time you're joining us, if you go to the Wyatt Rehab Facebook page, you will also see all of the classes over the last 6 weeks. So we did Intro to Essential Oils class, we did a Thriving After Cancer class, we did a Supporting Your Lymphatic System Naturally, we did last week a Toxin-Free Living class. And tonight, if you've gotten the essential oils into your home, or if you're already an oiler, there's always something more you can learn, which is why Leah and I personally love continuing to educate. And we've learned so much, because today is also a great deal with doTERRA. They announced the BOGO week. So it's a very fun time within doTERRA because they offer oils throughout this entire week at an extremely discounted rate. And what we do as wellness advocates is we educate on those as essential oils. So we in turn learn more. And some of those oils tonight that we are using for the DIY recipes are in the BOGO box. So if you reach out to the doTERRA wellness advocate that invited you to this class and talk to them and find out about the BOGO box, because it is only available until supplies last, but you'll get oils like Adaptive and On Guard, which are really great essential oils, which you'll see in some of these recipes. Okay, so the DIYs that we're going to be doing tonight, a lot of these can be found on the doTERRA website. So if you're new to doing do-it-yourself recipes, I was someone personally that avoided it because of time. But Leah has taught me how to make these simple recipes with just a few products in your home. And because of that, I've become a really fond DIYer. So I'm going to kind of turn our table here and start off. I'm going to kind of go over which DIY recipes we're doing, and then Leah is going to demonstrate it. So the first thing we're going to look at is creating a roller ball. So when you create a roller ball, you get a roller and you're going to fill it with certain essential oils and dilute it with a carrier oil. So the ones that I chose, I love in my practice to use what we'll call scar and cuticle support roller. So when you look at going through a cancer treatment, and even afterwards, or even if you have not been diagnosed with cancer, these are extremely powerful oils that can be used on any scars for scar healing. You just want to make sure that the scar is completely closed. New scars, you should never be putting essential oils over top of them. You can put them around where this incision is, but once it's closed, you can be using the essential oils over top of it. That same roller you can use in the cuticles of your nails. So a lot of the chemotherapy agents that we're using can really break down nails, and they become very brittle and uncomfortable. And most people don't like the sight of what the nails look like going through treatment and even afterwards. So by just rolling that roller ball along the edges of the nail every day, number one, you're getting that beautiful aroma, but number two, you're really nourishing the nails with basic top 10 essential oils that Leah's going to show you, but they're so highly powerful and effective. The other roller ball that I picked, and I didn't mention this, but everyone's going to get an email with all of the recipes. So I want you not to feel like you need to take notes on this, because I want you to just watch how she's doing the DIYs and learn, but know that you're going to get all of the recipes. The next one is Love Your Liver Rollerball. So another thing that we talked about a little bit about during the Supporting Your Lymphatic System, as well as your toxin-free living class, is that our liver takes on a lot every single day. And especially during cancer, that chemotherapy, if you're going through those treatments and even afterwards, we need to help the liver process those synthetic drugs that are going through our body. All of the different things that we're inhaling, applying on our skin, and eating, our liver needs to help metabolize and eliminate through our channels. So we have a Love Your Liver rollerball blend. So I'm going to kind of turn it over to Leah, and she's going to teach us how to make a rollerball.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about, just show you what we need to make these. Of course, you need your essential oils, which we'll go over those. And then when we talk about a roller ball, when Tracy says that, that is just, doTERRA does make some pre-made roller bottles that you can purchase, but making your own roller bottle is super simple. And when you look, this is a roller bottle. This is the 10 ml roller. So this is the standard size that doTERRA generally sells. And you can purchase these actually in your back office. If you have an account with doTERRA, there's, I believe it's a 6-pack, and it's a good price point, and they're good quality roller bottles. So it's great to get them right there if you only need a few. I actually buy mine in bulk because I do DIYs all the time. So if you're looking to get a bunch of them, you can look. There's some sites on Amazon, and there's also some companies that you can buy the roller bottles. If you're purchasing off Amazon, you do want to, sometimes you don't always get a great quality. So you can check back with us and we can help you. You know, if you're interested in that, let us know and we can send you some links with some of the products that I've already purchased and I know are good. So that's your roller bottle. And then you're going to need fractionated coconut oil, which or a carrier oil. So if you don't want fractionated coconut oil, you can use jojoba oil, grapeseed oil, let's see, sweet almond oil, any carrier oil. Fractionated coconut oil is really our oil of choice for doTERRA. This is one that you can get on doTERRA's website as well. The reason why they pick it is it's odorless when it's fractionated. And then it also has a longer shelf life than some of your other oils. So it's a little more stable. The first roller bottle blend Tracy mentioned was the scar and cuticle support. So you're going to need the roller bottle, your fractionated coconut oil, and it's 3 oils. It's frankincense, tea tree, and lavender for that. You're going to get that recipe. And it's basically equal parts. It's going to be 10 drops of each. The next roller bottle is your Love Your Liver. And I'm going to demo this one for you. Another little tool that is handy to have when you're adding liquid sometimes is this little funnel. And this is just, I don't use it when I'm prepping a regular roller bottle. I do use this more when I'm prepping the sprays though. But some people like to use this for a roller bottle as well. One thing you want to remember, some of your oils come out faster than others if you're new to your essential oils. And then some of them take a really long time, like something like a vetiver, for instance. That takes a long time to come out because it's thicker. So you have to be patient, especially when you're first getting the hang of it. So Love Your Liver roller bottle. First thing you're going to do is add your oils to your roller. It's 5 drops of geranium. So you're basically, and everybody, you guys can see, all right, okay, right? We can see good, Trace? All right. So when you drop your oil in, you're going to just slowly tilt to the side. You don't want to force it. You're not going to tap your bottle. You want to just be a little patient. You'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as soon as that last drop comes, you're going to start picking the bottle up. So 5 drops of geranium, 5 drops of fennel. 1, 2, 5. 3 drops of grapefruit. Three, as you can see, most of the citruses come out quicker. If you do get an extra drop, it's okay. You don't have to worry so much. You just want to make sure you're not putting, 5 extra drops of something. Ginger is 3 drops. And ginger takes a little longer, but 1, 2, 3, then your citruses. And then 2 drops of rosemary. Oh, I love all the aromas. 1, 2. All right. Once you put your oils in, you are going to fill it with fractionated coconut oil. Now, when you purchase from doTERRA, it actually just comes with a dropper of regular. This pump doesn't come with it. I find purchasing the pump, which is also in your back office, is just a nice little accessory to have because it makes life super easy. And if you don't have it, you might want to use the funnel. If you do have it, you just actually put the pump right into the bottle. When you fill it, you want to make sure you leave some space. You want to like some head space, we call it, a little under the top rim. And that's so you have room to put your roller, my pump's not working. Let's see. Technical difficulties. We may have to,
Oh, I got mine.
oh, that's not good.
Is it a new one?
I believe it is. Okay. Oh, maybe it's not. Yeah, it's locked, I think. I'll figure it out. 1, you're just gonna pump. 2, 3, I'll figure it out. I won't worry so much. All right, so I don't know how well you can see on camera, but you're gonna fill it right to that top edge there. Now, then you're gonna take your roller part, you're gonna insert that and just firmly press down. You wanna make sure you're holding the roller bottle. There is a tool that you can get called a key. This one's not even open. This is a little plastic one. They make metal ones that you can help put that roller on if you like, but you really don't need it. And then you're going to cap it. You're going to shake it up.
There we go.
And that's it. That's making your roller bottle. So
Awesome.
super easy.
Now,
And label.
label, yes.
Yes,
I
and then make
learned.
sure you label.
I'll remember that.
Yes, you want to make sure
And-
you put a label on, which I already pre-made our
Oh,
label.
good.
Love your liver. And that way once you start making a bunch, you don't forget what it is.
And you can also, they sell those stickers on Amazon and you can write
Yes.
down how many drops you may use so that the next time you're not looking up the recipe, you're just refilling it.
I've done that as well.
When
yes.
I didn't mention, I talked about the
Refilling.
cuticle one goes around the nails, but when you're loving on your liver, you're going to be applying it right over your liver, which is on the right side under your rib cage. So you'd be rolling that in every day. That's something that can be used foundationally for anyone at any point in their journey. But especially, if you're going through chemotherapy, you want to be putting that on 2-3 times a day, like really supporting your liver. Remember, you don't need a lot of doTERRA essential oil. So you use a little bit. And when something's more acute, you use it more often. I usually use the example of having a headache. If you have some head tension and you put some peppermint on your temples, you don't put it on once and go throughout your day and not reapply. So you would just put 1 drop, but you could reapply every hour or whatnot. So now we're going to move on to the sprays. So we have 2 different sprays that we chose. One is a peppermint cooling spray. This is one of the most popular in my practice for several reasons. Number one, women who are at that stage in their lives where they're getting hot flashes, whether it's from a forced menopause from their hysterectomy or whether it's that time in their womanhood. Hot flashes, of course, we're going to be looking at the root problem, which is hormonal imbalance, but cooling, just having that peppermint on the back of your neck, as well as patients who have lymphedema when you're in the summer months. It is amazing how much a cooling spray can cool your whole body in order for you to have a better quality of life wearing a compression garment in the summer. So this one's really popular. You can also use it if you're under the weather and maybe feeling some head tension. You can use it for that. And then the second spray is the other most popular is our hand sanitizer spray. So you can get doTERRA hand sanitizer or you can make it your make it on your own. What's important about, remember how we talked about toxins, and when we look at gut health, it's extremely important to be using natural products, especially now when we're using hand sanitizer. We want to try to avoid the antibacterial hand gels. That actually can disrupt your microbiome, like your gut health, because of what the ingredients are in the antibacterial products. But what's so powerful is an oil like On Guard, and what Leah's going to describe what's in our hand sanitizer DIY. It's not only going to avoid killing the good bacteria that's on your hands, so we avoid the problems in your gut, but it's going to be boosting your immune system because we have all of the power of those natural essential oils cleaning your hands. So when you're not able to wash your hands and you're using hand sanitizer, I highly recommend you use your oils for those things. So I'm going to pass it over to Leah again, and she's going to show you how to make one of those sprays.
Okay, so we have the two different sprays are the peppermint cooling spray, which the ingredients for that is peppermint oil, witch hazel, like Tracy said, and I don't know if you said that, I'm sorry, witch hazel, and then you're going to top it with distilled water. As far as when you're making sprays, distilled water is always recommended in any of the sprays you use. Just, the water's is pure, it's filtered. When I'm doing like room sprays, I don't always use distilled water. Like I use sometimes water out of tap for myself. When I'm doing something that I apply to my body, I generally use the distilled water though. But it is a personal choice. As long as you know where your water is okay, it's fine. So the spray bottles, when I do recipes, most of the time I use a 2-ounce bottle, and that's what these recipes call for. And you can use either a glass spray bottle. Again, that can be purchased like on Amazon or one of the oil companies like Oil Tools or Aroma Tools. Those are some of the places that you can get these supplies from. Or you can use a stainless steel. You want to make sure it's stainless steel or glass because of the oils. I think we talked about this, like when we talk about you ingesting oils, you still want to, you're putting these on your body and your skin. So if you are using a plastic bottle, we're not sure. The only time I trust the plastic is when I know it's tested, like essential oil grade. Essential oil grade. If you're purchasing from Amazon, I don't trust that. Yeah. So personally, but doTERRA does sometimes in the back office have some of their hand sanitizer spray bottles, which are the plastic, so you can use those. So I tend to go with plastic for most of the time. The glass is nice if you're on the go, like traveling, or you're going to take it to the beach, like your cooling spray. I mean the metal, because the cooling, or even your hand sanitizer. But I'm going to choose to use the glass today. So the peppermint cooling spray is 8 drops of peppermint, a tablespoon of witch hazel, and then you top it with water. I'm going to show you how to do the hand sanitizing spray because there's some extra ingredients in that. So you're going to need your glass spray bottle. You're going to need 4 teaspoons of aloe vera gel, a drop of vitamin E, which is optional. If you don't have it, that's one of the more expensive ingredients to purchase. Like I bought a bottle if you're going to get that. But you don't need it. It's about keeping your hands moisturized. So if you can actually use a pump of fractionated coconut oil instead to keep your hands moist. 5 drops of On Guard, and then you're going to top it with either 91% isopropyl alcohol, or you can use vodka or Everclear. You can actually use alcohol, like drinking alcohol. And that's usually when I do my DIYs, I use like an Everclear because I prefer that over I don't like the aroma of the isopropyl alcohol. It's personal choice. So this is perfect. In fact, during the height of some of the people were making hand sanitizers at the liquor store, they actually were advertising Everclear as a hand san to make. I saw it.
And they were
purchasing it because they were out.
And they were out. Yeah.
So that's what you need. All right. So this is where your little funnel comes in handy. If you don't have it, you just might spill a little.
Yeah, it might be a little messy.
So you're gonna put your little funnel in, and you're gonna start with your aloe vera. Now the aloe vera I get, I make sure it's an organic one. This isn't like the thick aloe vera gel. I buy this I do get this online at Amazon. You want to make sure it's inorganic, and then this is like a liquid. So it doesn't, sometimes you still get like a little bit of a separation. it doesn't hurt it. It just looks a little funny. You just want to shake it up before you use it. But this one I find is a good quality. So it's 4 teaspoons. So it's my teaspoon. And this is thick, but it's not super thick. So you're going to put this in first. Okay. 1, 2. And it's just like cooking. You're just measuring your ingredients out. 3. And your aloe vera also moisturizes your hands. So that vitamin E isn't necessarily 100% necessary.
Right.
Now, the one tip, if you do purchase your vitamin E and you purchase it like this, it comes with a pump. But what I found, over time, your vitamin E will solidify, even when it's still good, but it solidifies. So you have to then take your vitamin. It's bad to keep the dropper in there, because I had one that I had to, because the dropper's glass and then it's stuck. Oh, and it's bad. So what I do is I keep the dropper out, and then you actually have to take it, and I set it in a glass of hot water. And then it will eventually, it'll go back to liquid. And it stays liquid for a while, because I did that a few weeks ago and I'm still at liquid. So that's just a little tip. Yeah. Now, because I took my glass dropper out, of course, today I left it home. So I don't have it. So I'm just gonna, again, when we do this, it's not a perfect science.
Well, it's like cooking,
it's
right?
like cooking.
Yeah,
so I'm
bit.
just gonna do really slowly, because vitamin E is thick, and I'm just gonna do a little tiny drop of it.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Looks like honey.
And then our next ingredient will be our On Guard drops.
Okay.
We're going to do 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you don't want to, On Guard is great, but you can also use other oils to make your hand sanitizer. I do, because the alcohol is, On Guard is great to protect,
right? But
the alcohol is actually also helping with that as well. But I've done a little On Guard, sometimes a little peppermint, a little. We have a couple other recipes too. And then you're going to top it with the alcohol. I just have mine in another little container to make it easy. And again, just like your roller, you want to only add to about up to the top. You want to leave some space, because you need to have room to shake it and room to add your top on there. I'm going to fill it. That's about good. You want to leave a little extra space, because you want to be able to shake it up nice. Take out your funnel, put your topper on. This one, probably should have cut the bottom. There we go. All right. You're going to give it a good shake. And you can see it's got a little bit of, it's a little thicker, and label, and then you're ready to go. And then you're just going to spritz it on. And you're all set. And
I like it.
And I actually have, if you do purchase the doTERRA hand sanitizer that's pre-made, I actually have a recipe that you can just refill that bottle with this recipe as well. So
awesome.
All right, I'm gonna put my label on.
So now we've done a lot of things for our body. Now we're going to talk about our mind, and how can we have some really soothing, super easy. Well, the next one's super easy. I couldn't believe how easy it was. And the other one, so we're going to be doing bath salts next, and how important bath salts are. Epsom salts are another great way if you have a bathtub. And when I say that, who doesn't have a bathtub? I really want a bathtub in my house, but I use the second one, the sugar scrub, in my shower. But when you have a bathtub and you have Epsom salts can be so helpful without the, I almost called it flavor, no scented. Like when you go to the store, unfortunately, you can actually get a toxic Epsom salt because they add that synthetic lavender. You just want plain Jane Epsom salts, which are really great to pull the toxins out of your body. So something so simple, so inexpensive can be not only so relaxing to your body, but your mind. Remember, this is a great way to have an aromatherapy experience in what most people find to be a nice, calming part of their day, right? Whether it's a shower or a bath. So for me, we're also going to go over how to make a sugar scrub. And I have been loving that lately. In my shower, I have a little caddy under the shower head, and it is in glass. It's protected, so it's not going to fall and crack, but I've been scooping that out, and just how much it moisturizes your skin for the rest of the day while you're getting that aromatic experience. So Leah's going to go over how to make different types of bath salts, like with different essential oils, and then she's going to go over a sugar scrub. So first,
bath salt too.
that's what I said,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So first you're going to do the
Yep.
bath salts, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so today the recipe for the bath salt, this is uplifting and a feel good bath salt. So this is for uplift. This is super easy because it's 2 ingredients. It's your salt and it's adaptive blend. So the doTERRA already has that wonderful blend that we talked about, and you could just make a bath salt. Why wouldn't you want to just put the oil in your tub? Because it'll float on the top and it's not going to kind of be dispersed. When you put it in your salts, it's going to disperse. You're also going to get the benefits of the salt as well. You can use even using breathe oil or breathe and eucalyptus together. Whenever you do a bath salt, it's a 1 cup of salt to about 12 to 15 drops of essential oil. So that's going to be your combination, and play around. Like when, you know, you get a lot of these recipes we have, whether it's a diffuser blend or a roller bottle, or salt, you can convert them to different things once you get that ingredient ratio down, and you can play with it. But bath salts are really fun. And if you don't have a tub, Tracy, I want to remind you, you still can use bath salts. You know how?
How?
You could do a nice foot soap.
That's true.
And especially, I mean, it's a great way. You're going to get that aromatic experience.
Right.
And you really don't even need anything special. All you need is a little basin.
Yeah.
I mean,
and the feet are the best part.
Right. So do a nice detox.
I'm going to do that tonight.
You could do breathe. You can do this lovely adaptive. You can do tea tree. We talked about tea tree, lavender, and frankincense together. Anything that's, you know, that's perfect. And when you're doing in like a foot soak, you'll need a couple scoops of it.
Yeah.
So perfect. So I keep my salts. Now, Epsom salts, is you want to just make sure that when you purchase your Epsom salts that they're plain, unscented, and there's nothing else in them. They're just plain Epsom salts. So that's the key. You don't want to get something that already has a scent in it, because we don't know the quality of that, what that fragrance is that they're using. I keep mine in this jar. As far as the container you use, this is what you need to make it. You need your salt, you need your oils, you need some kind of container to store. It has to have a nice airtight lid. Glass or metal of some sort. It can just be, a lot of my DIYs like this I do in just regular mason jars, because it's nice and easy storage, and then you can throw them through the dishwasher, you know, to sterilize them and reuse them. This is jars that I purchased specifically for my bath salt DIY. We also have, which I'm going to use, you have a jar like this that is nice decorative that you can, it has a seal on it, and you can keep this, you know, in your bathroom with a little scoop next to it. Let's see. So, and then you need your measuring cup. You need a mixing bowl. Again, I like to use glass or metal of some kind. And for this recipe, it's 1 cup of salt. I'm just going to scoop out again, just like cooking. And it doesn't have to be exact whatsoever. And actually, these salts may not all fit in this, because I think this is a 12-ounce jar. So we'll see how that works out. And you're going to add your adaptive, which is 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 12. I like to kind of put the drops, you know, all over in the bowl. And then you need your spoon. I'm going to actually use, I'll use this one. And we're going to you're going to stir them up. You'll see they kind of clump together. So you kind of just have to, and the adaptive has that yellow, it has a little bit of the, I think it's the
probably wild
orange.
Right?
So it has a little bit of a color to it.
Oh, it smells so good.
Smells so good, right?
Smell it.
And adaptive is very strong, concentrated. So you really don't need more than 12. Now these salts will last, you know, a few weeks, a month. They will start fading, the aroma, after a while. This is also another great way if you don't have, if you're in a space that you can't use a diffuser, a water-based diffuser, you can make this like a little, you could put this in a glass mason jar with the top that has the holes in it, and it could be a room freshener as well. Nice.
Yeah, because this smells so.
Yeah, and then you could just refresh it with more drops of oil. So that's a nice little. Normally, I have my little mason jar funnel, and you know, I think I left that at home too. So you just have to just transfer it. Once you're done, you're going to transfer it into your jar. You know, like so.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. So this is super easy. It's a fun DIY for if you have kids, little kids to help with, because
Yeah.
and they get that aromatic experience. And look at that, it does fit in that jar. So it must be a 15 ounce. All right. There you go. And it's a great
Perfect.
gift too.
It is a really
Especially
great
at the
gift.
holidays. You get cute little,
Yep.
and you can make it in bulk and put little bows on it, and it'll be perfect.
And do you find that if, I mean, there's a certain amount of time too.
Yeah, if you're gonna do them for Christmas gifts, I would wait and do them. You know, I wouldn't do them more than a month ahead.
Yeah.
Really, a couple weeks ahead, just so they're nice and fresh.
Right,
You know?
right.
And yep,
And it's so super simple.
it's super simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is your salt. Now your
cool.
sugar scrub is a little bit like, it's not difficult. It's just a little bit more labor intensive,
Mhm.
because if you like to cook, you'll know the term like creaming a sugar, you know, and that's
Oh.
basically what you're doing. You're blending your sugar and your coconut oil together, because that is what makes a scrub. So, and there are a couple of different recipes out there. Some scrubs call for brown sugar, or some are a combination of salt and sugar. The one that I have is actually a cup of granulated sugar, a half a cup of coconut oil, 2 to 3 drops of vitamin E, again, which is optional, but it gives that little extra moisture. And then it's going to be 6 drops of peppermint and 6 drops of citrus bliss.
Mhm.
And we have a new, I haven't tried it yet, but again, you can make your base for your scrub and then add whatever oils you want in there. I think we have new Madagascar vanilla would be an awesome
that'd be
scrub.
So good.
And again, it's going to be about 12 to 15 drops of oil for this
Okay.
recipe. So first we're going to measure out our sugar, which is a cup of sugar.
Where did you get these? These are really nice.
These jars, I ordered them from a while back.
Like
I think
Amazon?
I got them actually Target, I think. Yeah, it was fun. I ordered them. Some came broke. It was an experience, but I got the ones I need.
Yeah,
this is
that's
a
nice.
half cup because it's easier in my jar. So I'm just going to measure out 2 halves, make our whole. So 1 cup of sugar, half a cup of coconut oil. Now this is just regular coconut oil that I use, organic, that you use, you know, for cooking.
Mhm.
Or I use this right from my pantry. So if you have a favorite coconut oil, that's what you can use. And this gives that little bit of coconut aroma to it as
Mhm.
well. That's why I love this particular recipe. There are some recipes that call for other oils as
Mhm.
well. This is my favorite though. So let me just wipe actually, I don't want to put that in there. We're going to use this. So this is the part, you know, the coconut oil is a little bit of
It's hard, right?
yeah, it's a little hard because right now it's hard because it's cold out.
Right.
If it was warm out, the coconut oil would be a little softer.
Mhm.
So again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not like, you know, you're baking and it's not going to rise.
Right.
Or,
It's not going to taste good. You know,
Right.
it's going to
So
feel good.
You're going to pack that in there. And then I like to use a spatula. Do your blending. You're going to add that in. Try not to make a mess. I am a messy cook.
Oh,
Right
you are
there.
not.
A couple drops of vitamin E. 2 to 3. So we're just going to put a little dollop in there. 1. Yeah, that's good. Gives it that little extra moisture. And now our oils. 6 drops of peppermint. I love the smell of this.
This is
This
a great
smells
one
like-
for the morning. This is
Yeah.
the one I've been using until I just recently ran
1,
out.
2.
And it's so
3.
great to have that uplifting, energizing peppermint as well as the citrus
So
bliss
get-
blend.
Great, like to scrub your feet. This is also, it's great to keep a small container by your sink and 6 drops of citrus bliss. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's great to keep this next to your sink if you have, especially this time of the year, in the winter when your hands get really super dry. It's a nice exfoliating scrub.
Mhm.
And you just use this at the sink. And now you're just gonna, you're gonna cream it together.
Mhm.
So you're just gonna work that coconut oil into the sugar until it gets solid. It takes a few minutes. So that's why we waited to last to do this. once you incorporate this all together, then you're going to transfer it into an airtight container. It will take a little bit. So I don't know if you want to keep watching. You want more, or you want to talk?
Well,
I'm just going to keep working this in as Tracy talks, and then I'll show you the finished product, because this does take a few more minutes.
Yeah. And that's what's really neat. Like around this time, Leah and I, well, yeah, because you really got me into the DIYs. So I love making these as gifts because this is such an easy, fun product for someone to try out, especially if they're not used to using essential oils, because it's usually an oil experience that gets people to see the power of natural products. But I also think of if you know someone, or if you yourself are going through cancer treatments or after cancer treatments, or you have cancer-related lymphedema, the skin is our largest organ. And I feel like I've talked for 20 years about hydrating your skin. And I was recommending lotions that had ingredients in them that I never knew about. It was almost like, do you remember when we didn't have food labels and we didn't really even know what was in these processed foods, which if you think about it, that's within the last 50 years as well. Like, we think about food labels. Now we've got to take the next step and think about what are in the lotions that we may have been using for years. And I'm not saying they might not be effective, because a lot of the lotions I used to use in my practice were highly effective in keeping the skin moisturized. So we don't want dry, cracked skin. But what did your lymphatic system and your liver have to do? Because we need to be mindful, like we talked about last week, that the skin is absorbing whatever you're putting on it. So can we lessen, but just by making these DIY products, switching over to something natural, I want everyone to feel empowered that they're doing something positive for their bodies, and how simple it can be. Now, this one's a little bit more labor intensive than the salts,
so
but
as
it goes
you
a long
can
way.
see, once it comes together and it's sticking together, it's all creamed, if everyone can see that.
I love this.
All right, that's when you know you're done. You're all mixed in there. And now you can just transfer that into your container. Like I said, I chose this. I'm going to use, I'm just going to, and this container is a little big for the amount I did. And I knew that when I picked it, but I just wanted to show different containers.
And you only need a little bit. I usually
just
don't
need
take
a lot.
bit.
Like what I have, the residue on my hands, this is a little messier, this one,
right,
but I pack it down. So when I'm making the mason jar, I make sure it's packed. I keep a little scoop next to it. And you just scoop it out, and you really don't need a lot at all. Like you said, about a teaspoon, you can see I could have doubled this for this particular jar, and then you just want to make sure it's air conditioned. Now I have some on my hands. When that coconut oil hits your hands, the temperature of your body is going to melt it. So I have like a nice scrub with what's left on here. I'm going to just rub this together, and I'm going to rinse my hands. And it's going to be perfect. So.
Yeah. Do you want to go rinse them?
I'm going to go rinse my hands.
Yeah. Just take the,
and then we'll do that last
key. Because I'll talk about the last one.
Yeah.
So we have one more. So we went over a lot of different ways that you can use products in different types of DIY containers, right? But they're endless. And I find that the easiest way, if you're interested in supporting something, like let's say you wanted to make something for digestive support, you can even type in, if you go on doTERRA.com and in the main search tab, you type digestive support or just digestive. The first section is going to come up with all the doTERRA products, but then you're going to see blog in the middle, and you click on that, and it's going to give you all the different DIY recipes that can help support digestive. So you just scroll through and look at the titles, and it can really get you moving with finding things. So you're not, you can also Pinterest and Google and get all sorts of different recipes. Leah has been so helpful in my journey in making things simple so that I don't feel overwhelmed, because as you can tell, she is super great at what she does and loves doing this. But most of us, even if we're not cooks or talented, can put these simple recipes together and have them. So around the holiday time, I like to get together I have a table downstairs, and I like to put on the holiday music, put on my diffuser and make gifts. And it's a fun thing because you're now having an aromatic experience, and you're giving the gift of not only health, but love and support. So keep that in mind. This is always that kind of time. And then throughout the year, I'm just refilling the things that I've made for myself, because of course I'm going to make one of each for myself.
Of course, absolutely.
So our last one is something I use every single day in my practice, because like we said, lotioning and using the proper moisturizer on someone who has cancer-related lymphedema, or someone who doesn't have lymphedema, but it's gone through chemotherapy and radiation, especially, we want to hydrate the skin. We also want to make sure we're hydrating our bodies, so we're drinking a lot of water. But the easiest, I'll call it base lotion, I use in my practice. I've got rid of all the store-bought lotions. The only one I carry here is Cetaphil. Cetaphil passed the test. And remember from last week, you go on ewg.org and look up your lotion. Look up whether it passes the test, meaning it doesn't have any ingredients that have a red ingredient in it, which would be more toxic. And you want to be on the side of more of an overall score of 1 to 3, which is what doTERRA's hand and body lotion would be. So in practice, I use, and at home, I use the hand and body lotion, which is a very plain, clean lotion, no parabens, no phthalates. Remember, a lot of the things that are in lotions are endocrine disruptors, which means it alters our hormones, meaning it's going to imbalance our hormones when we have all of these endocrine disruptors in our body. So when I think about a clean lotion, you want to eliminate all of those ingredients, but then you don't want to add fragrance. And that's what a lot of the lotions do on the store shelves, is that, they'll advertise on the front that they are no parabens, but when you turn it around, it shocks me. I actually have a really hard time finding a product, a lotion that, my internet is unstable. Okay, it came back. I have a hard time not finding the ingredient fragrance in a product, even though it says on the front, all these great things.
Yeah,
and we call it greenwashing. It's unfortunate, but the marketing is really great on the front of the bottle. But I always have people, I tell my patients, look at the back and make sure it doesn't have fragrance in it, because that's just synthetic fragrance, and it's not natural. So what's so easy is to use a base lotion, add your essential oils. So for me, I love adding lemongrass as a base. And this can be varied per individual. So I always use lemongrass. It supports the lymphatic system. It's a great bug repellent. So in the summertime, it's even great. It's great for pain. It's one of the oils we use for pain. And it's inexpensive. I think it's $11.
And you don't need a lot of it.
And it's so strong. I actually use it in our bathroom as well. If you have diffusers in the bathroom, it's a really great one for the bathroom. So Leah's going to show us the base, but know that you can always add. Sometimes I'll add, when I'm making it for a patient to take home, I might add lavender or a drop of frankincense in order to support whatever their individual needs are. But she's going to show you how to make the base. And we call this one Love Your Lymphatics Lotion. Okay.
And before I say, I have to say, my hands are so super soft right now. Like they are, it's awesome.
And it smells good.
Yeah, it smells good. All right. So I actually kind of started this one already. If you purchase the doTERRA spa lotion, like Tracy talked about, this is a 6.7 ounce bottle. So you're going to use the whole bottle for this recipe. And this is an 8 ounce bottle. Now this is a plastic, but this is a plastic that we know is essential oil safe. So Tracy had researched that and purchased that. What you want to do is you want to open this up and you want to put it about halfway up of the lotion to start, and add your oils in, because this is going to help you mix that lotion up. And it's only 8 drops of lemongrass. That's it. So you do 1, 2, 3, 8. What I would like to, you can put a stir in there if you want, but I actually just will cap it now, shake it, and then put the rest in. That's my recommendation. It makes it super easy. You don't have any other cleanup then. So give it a really good shake. The lotion is very thick. So yeah, you can smell it. So nice. And then you're going to kind of just tap it down, and then you're going to just want to put the rest of fill it up that out, and you're gonna just put the rest of your lotion in and then
Mhm.
finish. Whoops, I knew that was gonna happen. And try not to get it outside the jar. Right,
And I know you're
we're
not going to do it, but
finish this.
tell them
Yeah.
about your trick that I need to do the next time I
Oh
make
yes,
this.
I'll tell about the trick. So with any kind of doTERRA product that comes in a tube like this, there's actually, if you squeeze as much as you think comes out, I made a little mess.
That's
See,
fine, here.
even though Tracy calls me the DIY queen, I'm not perfect.
No one is.
So you just put it on, but that's what's great. You don't
Yeah.
have to know that much, and then you're just going to continue to shake it and really
Mhm.
just give it a really, really good shake. Once it's shaken up well,
Yeah.
you don't really need to
Mhm.
stir it, but you can always. And then that's it. I mean,
That's
super
it.
easy. I actually will take this at night plain, and I put a couple of drops of, I like to use Arrow Palm. I'll put a couple of drops of Arrow Palm in my
Mhm.
hands, put a squirt of lotion and rub it. So I love this because I add my own, like you said, my own.
And you
scent
can
to
do
it.
that with the pump. Like, so
Yes.
if you didn't want to put the oil in the
Mhm.
whole bottle,
Right.
you could pump out a couple and say, today I want to use lavender.
Right,
or
absolutely,
Yarrow
absolutely,
Palm.
right. So the trick though with these tubes
Yeah.
is once you think you have everything squeezed out. Now this one you can take even, well, this one doesn't, the toothpaste, no,
No,
same thing,
right,
it doesn't
same
come
thing,
off.
yeah.
So you think you have it all out. There's still a lot left in the bottom.
Mhm.
So what you do is and I saw this tip from another DIYer, you cut it straight clean across,
Mhm.
and you open that up and there's a whole bunch of lotion still in there. So now you can scrape that out, and I don't always transfer mine. I keep it in there and it's for
Right.
personal use. Well, I take it all off out of the top part and then I give it a rinse because there's still a lot left in the
In the
bottom.
bottom.
And then the top actually fits right over the bottom. And you could store it for a few days. So I'll do
At the very end, you do
yeah,
that.
at the very end. So you could do that even with your toothpaste.
Yeah.
Like, and I learned that as a trick. There was one time when our toothpaste, we was limited. We couldn't get it, remember?
Mhm,
And
yeah.
somebody we couldn't get the new toothpaste. It was,
Right.
but we were waiting for the new one to come out. We got it in convention.
Yeah.
We were waiting for that new one. And people were like, they were trying to get every last squirt of toothpaste out because they loved it so much. And somebody put that tip on. So
Yep, that's
I
a
do
great
with
hack.
my toothpaste all the time now.
That's a great hack.
And once you take it off, you don't have that pressure to squeeze anymore. So you're going to be scooping in. So you don't want to have, as long as it's your personal, you don't have a bunch of people,
Yeah.
But I'll take my toothbrush.
Oh, I love it.
But it's a cute little tip just to get every last drop of product out of that. So yes,
Beautiful.
it's awesome.
So to wrap up our class tonight, you have the other one. Although this isn't technically a DIY, it is. Leah, she's so amazing. She put together these diffuser blends that I love the titles. It's like when you get paint swatches, you know how you just see a paint swatch name and you're like, I need it just because of that name. So there are 8 different diffuser blends. You're going to get a copy of this in your email, and I will post it on the Wyatt Rehab page as well. But these are great ones, especially going through treatment. Deep breathing has a combination of lavender, lemon, and peppermint. That is, lemon, lavender, peppermint are the 3 oils that are a natural antihistamine. So you can use these also in roller balls. We demonstrated how to make a roller ball. So any type of diffuser recipe can also be put into a roller ball with the carrier oil as well. The other one is Energize. So we've got peppermint and wild orange. Lemongrass Delight. So we have lemongrass, lavender, and peppermint. Stay Strong is a mixture of peppermint, On Guard, and frankincense. Hope Shines On is our favorite one. That is lavender, frankincense, and wild orange. And if you're seeing the pattern here, Leah purposely picked these out because these are all, most of them, other than lemongrass so far, are all in the top 10 essential oil kits. So just by getting a starter kit, you can do all of these recipes, other than I think it was just lemongrass.
And there's one that has bergamot, which is a little
extra. This next one, Rejuvenate, is lavender, bergamot, and lemon. Relax and Balance is Serenity, which is our restful blend, and Balance, which is our grounding blend. Those 2 together have been termed over the years, liquid calm. and just, the relaxation blend. And then finally, Sweet Dreams, which is a combination of lavender and frankincense. So diffuser recipes you can also get on doTERRA's website. But just be
Pinterest.
mindful that when I was telling Leah this before the class started, I went on the website and looked up diffuser recipes, and there were recipes that might have had 15 to 20 drops of essential oil.
It's too much.
It's way too much. doTERRA's oils are so potent, you really don't need a lot. And I remember putting that in my diffuser for one of my first classes that I ever taught. And you could almost taste it. And I had to turn the diffuser off, and lesson learned. And ever since then, like, you won't find one on here that has more than 6 drops total, even using three different oils.
And I recommend, even at that, Tracy, if you're starting, it depends on the size of your diffuser.
Yeah, right.
So if you have even the little brevy, and especially if you're just starting out with your oils, cut this in half, only do 1 drop of each, and see how the aroma is for you.
Right.
You can always add more. You can't take it out once it's in there.
Yep.
So, do that. And some of those recipes that call for 15, 20 drops, it's for those huge diffusers. And unfortunately, it doesn't note that.
It doesn't note it.
Part of it. So, there are some diffusers that hold a gallon of water.
Right.
We don't have those really.
Right.
There are some are like the humidifier one, but
right.
Still.
And you want to look at your size of the room. If
Yeah.
you've got a big, great room, like even in the office, if all the doors are open, I may put 6 drops in. But I'm someone who actually errs on the side of, I put 4 drops in my bedroom every night. So I might choose which ones. So no, a lot of people we're very exact. And just as she said, making some of the recipes, play with it. It's okay to play with it in order to make it a sweet aroma for yourself. So you will be getting these recipes on your email, and that looks like we're going to wrap up the end of our class here. Diffuser recipes. Yep. And I'm going to attach the link to our fundraiser page. We are so excited to wrap up the end of this fundraiser class with donations to meet our goal, but we also really truly hope that all of these classes were helpful, and that whether you've already been using oils or this is something new for you, knowing that we're constantly learning. And the great part about it is we're connecting and we're part of a community. That's one thing that I've loved about doTERRA. And as you move along with your wellness advocate and people who you're even sharing with within your family, like using essential oils for your family or gifting to someone, it has this power to create community, because most of us want to feel empowered in our own homes. And by using essential oils, it's a no-brainer, and it brings people hope, because right at your fingertips, you have these little drops of essential oil that you can just open up and start smelling and playing around with to see which ones you're most drawn to. If you gave a favorite essential oil this week, I would say, what have you been used?
Oh my, I don't know. I think so. I use multiple oils on a daily basis, so that's a really tough one to answer, Tracy.
I switch all the time, but my basis has been adaptive. Okay. Adaptive has been the one that I have to take with me. Like I don't want to leave home without it.
So I actually been leaning on, ironically, some of the oils in the BOGO this week.
Yeah.
So Arborvitae, I love. That's part of the lavender part of it, but I use lemon, lavender, peppermint for seasonal support.
It's the seasonal
this time. Of the year.
Yep.
So I'm using that actually internally. And if I wake up and I have a lot of stuffy going on, I'll even put that in my diffuser, equal parts. And that's actually one of our recipes.
The deep breathing one.
The deep breathing. And that really does help clear those airways. And so I definitely do that in the morning. And I love my wild orange and peppermint first thing in the morning too, for focus, a little drop of rosemary in there. Adaptive is not, not one of my go-to all the time. It's
That's
for a
a
lot of
perfect
people,
point.
but balance for me.
Balance for you.
I like my balance.
So I think we went over this in the intro class, but remember that everybody's body chemistry is different and even changes as we go through life and as we're making changes to our body chemistry. So I've always been drawn to tree oils like frankincense and balance, but since COVID, I've switched, and we're going to be reviewing that a little bit in our team page as to why we're maybe drawn to an oil. So now I'm very drawn to floral oils and being open to receiving that. So for example, if you've opened up your frankincense bottle and maybe it's not something that you care for the aroma, touch into it every once in a while to see if now you're drawn to it, because our bodies have that internal like thermometer as to what we need. And I love the word being drawn to it, because when you smell it and you feel like you need that oil, it can be powerful. And just listen to each person's body chemistry. So if one of these recipes doesn't feel good to you, feel open to switching it up or even removing one of the oils that you may not care for. I tend to really love all of them. I think spikenard's the only one I don't care for. We call it at our house, we call that the garbage oil, because it smells like fertilizer to us.
That's
but
funny.
but it has a unique property to it.
It does. Yeah, they all do. But again, other
Yeah.
people love.
Exactly.
It really
And that's the beauty of it,
Yeah.
is that we can always have a conversation of what's our favorite this week, or what's been our oil of foundation since day one. So thank you for participating in our class tonight. Anyone who has registered will get that email, and I will post the diffuser recipes on our Wyatt Rehab page. So have a good night, everyone.